I think AJ should call it quits. I don't want to see him be one of those fighters that stay around too long.
This is Jonathan Aguilar here for Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Ade Oladipo. We're here at the Beterbiev Bivol press conference. Ade, appreciate your time. I know you've got to go soon. So straight into it, for you, is this the best fight in boxing?
Yeah, it is. I mean, look, Fury Usyk 2 is going to be insane. Or should I say Usyk Fury? There are others that can be made, right? Shakur versus Javante. But in terms of fights that have been signed and sealed, this is the best. You've got two guys from the same camp when they were juniors. That Russian camp, which has produced so many fantastic fighters. You got Unbeaten. I look because the poster's incredible. You got Beterbiev that just fights and knocks out people, destructive, and you got Bivol who's a mover. But they've both cleaned up the light heavyweight division. You know that sometimes there's a debate about is an undisputed really 1 versus 2, or is there someone else that could be involved? This is, I don't even know who number 3 is. This is so 1 versus 2. Number 3 is so far away. Could it be Boatsi? Could it be Benavidez? Could it be Yard? I don't know, but this is without doubt number 1 versus number 2. And you know I'm Team Bivol. You already know that, but it's going to be a great fight.
I've spoken to so many people who have sparred both, and everyone says that Beterbiev's punch power is just different. How important is Bivol to keep it long and stay out of the way?
It's not possible. I honestly don't think it's possible. There's going to have to be a time where he stands his ground and trades, because it's not just about moving, because Beterbiev can move. And Beterbiev is a great mover. I think people forget that. Like, his amateur record tells me he can move and he can box. He's just become this puncher. Why move when you can punch the way he can punch? But he can fight. So there's going to be a time when Bivol has to stand in the pocket with him and get his respect. And I think we have seen Beterbiev go down. We have seen him hurt. Don't get me wrong, when you go in that area of the pocket, there's a problem, but he might have to stay there and fight. And if he does, he's risking getting knocked out, but he's going to have to.
Yeah. Just quickly, obviously on the weekend, Joshua Dubois, everyone head over to your channel because you've done some good reaction videos to that. But on Joshua, Carl Froch says his punch resistance is gone. Do you agree with that?
No. I think Dubois hits very, very hard. But there has to be concern for AJ because he was hurt in that fight several times, right? They weren't like flash knockdowns like they were with Ruiz, where you could say maybe AJ was just a bit wobbled or stumbled. He was hurt. He was hurt several times in that fight, so there has to be concern. I've said what I've said about AJ. I think he should retire. And I think people are like, what? It's not because I don't think he can compete. I'm like, what's the want? Like, you know, you've made hundreds of millions. You've been unified heavyweight champion of the world twice, Olympic gold medalist. You've changed the sport over here in terms of brands and endorsements. What is it? You're not going to become undisputed. I think that ship has sailed, and that was the chase before. Maybe it's Fury, but I don't know if there's the want for that like there was before. So I think AJ should call it quits. I don't want to see him be one of those fighters that stay around too long. We've seen it, and it never ends well. It never looks good. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. He's going to continue, and if he does, he's going to go straight for Dubois again. That's what he does. When he lost to Ruiz, went for Ruiz. When he lost to Usyk, went for Usyk. It's just hard for me to see what more he can do differently when he lost pretty much every minute of that fight. So there's going to be a lot of thinking that has to happen and a lot of finding himself, but you can't rule against him, but it's going to be tough.
I appreciate your time. Thank you.